Hi class. So I had some questions over simple random sample sampling, particularly this problem from section 1.3. So I'm going to walk you through how to do this problem. It's also going to be important for concept check one. So this should be helpful, right? So if we read through this problem, it says the Future Government Club wants to sponsor a panel discussion on the upcoming national election. The club wants 4 of its members to lead the panel discussion. So we want to use StatCrunch to obtain a simple random sample of size 4 from the accompanying table. Write a short description of the process you use to generate your sample, right? So if I click on this icon here, I can view the membership list. So we can see that there are 32 members. And so what we're going to do is assign a number to each member, right? So it's an easy thing to do is just to use, for example, number 1 for maybe Blowen, um, and like 15 here for May. So the number that they are in the list, that number is going to represent their name, right? So if I pull number 20, let's say, I would have this person here, which I'll probably butcher the pronunciation, Opakian, maybe. Then he would be chosen, he or she, right? So something nice while working in my math lab is there's this button, this symbol over here I can click on, and it gives me some options. I can now open this up in a StatCrunch, I can copy this table, or I can open up an Excel, right? So I'm going to click open in StatCrunch, um, and so it's just open here with all those names already typed in. So it just makes it really nice and convenient, right? So going back here to the problem, I'm going to exit out, and we need to just fill in some things here. Um, so we're asked to write a short description, and we want to use this seed 12650, right? So what we're going to do is select data, and then simulate, and then discrete uniform, right, in StatCrunch, right? So I'll show you how to do this. So we're just writing up the process for doing a simple random sample. So I'll go to data under the data menu, and then under simulate, and then I'm looking for discrete uniform, right? So we want that type of probability model, right? And if I go back to the problem, it has some things filled in. So it's saying fill out rows 10, column 1, the minimum's 1, and we need to know what the maximum is, right? So these number of rows and columns, the reason why we fill in number 10 here, let's say, you could put in, like 200 or 20 or, really any number you want as long as it's bigger than 4, it would be okay here. But we want to pick a number that's bigger than 4 in this case, because StatCrunch might repeat some numbers. So like, it might have number 4 and then 5 and then number 4 again. So that repeating isn't helpful because that person, the fourth person, would already be chosen. So we want to pick number 10 here. So that way, if we have any repeats, we can just skip over that number. And I'm going to put 1 here because I want all these numbers to be in one column, right? And then now we need to fill in my discrete uniform parameters, right? So the minimum number we want is number 1. The maximum number we want is 32, right? Because again, if I go back to my data set, so I'm just click on this icon, we're using these values 1 to 32. So I'm just telling StatCrunch that I want to use the numbers between 1 and 32, and to randomly pull these numbers and put them in one column, right? So we're randomly pulling 10 numbers and putting them in one column. So let me just type this in. So I would type in 32 here. And then next it says select the radio button 4, and we want to use a fixed seed, right? A dynamic seed is, something that's chosen, through your computer. So maybe the seconds, might be a number associated with the seconds or something of that nature. But if we use a fixed seed, we can all get the same results, right? And so and we're provided with this fixed seed, which is 1, 2, 12650, right? And so I can do that here on StatCrunch. I'll click use fixed seed, and then we want 12650, I believe it was. Yep, 12650. So I went ahead and typed that in, And then now it's saying choose the names from the resulting sample by matching the first four distinct numbers. So it means different, right? We don't. So basically, if we have a number repeated, we'll skip over it. So we want to use the first four distinct numbers with the row numbers of the names, right? So then if I click check answer, it should be good to go, right? So we filled in that correctly. And then so now what it's wanting me to do is actually check which names would be in the list, right? So if I go back here to StatCrunch, the only thing I need to do now, I have everything filled in correctly, right? I just need to hit compute. And so now I have those 10 numbers, and we want to pick the first four distinct, right? So I have 5, 22, 13, and 30. And all of those numbers are distinct, right? Meaning they're all different. They're not the same. But notice here, like number 6 appeared twice in a row, right? So if we were picking, let's say 6 names, we'd use the first 4, and then number 6 would be the 5th, but then I would skip down to 31 because we'd skip over 6 because it's repeated, right? So that's the general idea. So if I go back here to ask my instructor, I need to write down these numbers. Let me write these numbers down. All right, so we have 5, 22, 13, and 30. All right, so I just wrote down the first 4 distinct numbers. And then now if I go back to this list, right, number 5 is Cooper. Right, so I'm just matching these up to the names. Number 5 is Cooper. Number 22 is this Pechtold. Number 13 is this name, Khouri. I'll write that down. Maybe Corey? Maybe it's a unique way to spell Corey, I'm not sure. And then next we have number 30, which is Washington. So I'll write that down. Right? So then now I just need to check the names that matched up, right? So I'm going to check Cooper. I'm going to check Pechtold. Where is it? Oh, right here. And then the Corey. Here. And then Washington. And then hit check answer. We should be good to go, right? All right, so that's how you work through that problem. All right, thanks.